Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew.
Guys, welcome to Breakthrough with Coach Lew. It is Monday morning and we're ready to rock and roll, guys. We've been doing this Own Your Blank month here in September, really going over and discussing, where do you in your life own the areas of your life, your health, your decisions. Today, we're going to talk about your finances. Okay, and you're going, Coach, I didn't know you were a financial planner. Nope, that's not what I'm coming to you today to talk about. It is, in a sense, I've got some basics to teach you to get you rolling, and then you go seek your level of knowledge and your level of what you need to do. So I am making sure everything's on board here, and we look like we are ready to go. I look like I lost one of our channels this morning, but I also look like we are on two other of our channels twice. So if you're on my personal page and you see me twice, there's a reason for that. So the question is, who owns your finances? That's my question of the day for you. You think you do, right? Do you really? Do you really own your finances? Do you know what your debt to ratio is to income? DTI, your debt to income ratio. Do you know what that is? And you're like, oh no, I got 10 grand saved in the bank. I'm doing good. But you got 30,000 in credit card debt, my friend. You are negative 20 net worth right there. And that's a very basic example. But those are the things that make people go, oh, and you see the look on their face. Like the blood flows out of their body and they turn white. Funny thing is, we were talking yesterday. I was talking to somebody and we got to talking about living up north, and the joke was everybody gets really fat and really white in the wintertime. And I thought, that was just hysterical. That was just a funny joke, but it was so true, because kind of you let your guard down in the winter. It was like, well, you can't really do much outdoors. Nobody cares what your body looks like under 8 layers of clothing. And what a cool example though is to, you might up north growing up, oh, hey, she's pretty hot, or, and then all of a sudden the coat comes off and you're like, oh, okay, she's as big as she was in the coat. No, just saying, the reality of it is sometimes we can see one thing when it comes to our finances, when in all reality, it's another. And that's what I'm talking about. Your debt to income ratio is important to know. How much am I really making? And how much of that do I have out in debt? And am I spending? Okay, you can make 200 grand a year and think you're doing great. And if you're, spending 210 because you're putting something on credit cards, you're losing your ass. Okay, you might make 50,000 a year, and your debt is so low that it's 10,000 each year, and you're coming away with 40 net in after that, and you're doing better than the person that's making 200 grand because they're spending 210. Okay, so then you have the question of how much equity do you have in your home, and you may say, hey, Coach, I rent. I'm not interested in buying right now. Don't know if I would say that's a bad thing unless you can find a really super deal. And my realtor friends out there hate this. They're like, oh, just tell them to keep buying. It's in the buy. It's in the this. It's in the it's really not a smart time to buy unless you're getting a great deal right now. Okay, I'll call it what it is. Because if you pay 100 grand more than the house is worth, it's still 100 grand more than it's worth, even if you have a lower interest rate. Now, it's also the other way around. If you get something cheaper, but you're paying a stupid interest rate, that's going to eat that up too. But I'm not going to go in depth into everything today, but I want to give you this push to become a financial wizard for yourself so that you can truly go, okay, here's the basic grid work. Now I'm going to plug into this grid my needs, my desires, my goals in a way that it works. Wow, pretty cool, huh? So how much equity do you have in your home, your stocks, your business, your inventory? You might again go, oh, I bought this really good stock and I use my credit card to do it and it's gaining 3% every year. Woohoo! But you haven't paid off that credit card debt at 18.99 or 24.99% interest rate. So your growth is negated by the interest. Oh. Same thing with, like we talked about, a high interest loan on a home. Well, I bought this place for investment, but I'm paying stupid interest on a hard money loan. But if it sells in 6 months, you're okay. If it drags out a year, 2 years, now you've eaten up a lot in interest. Okay, but it's tax deductible. Okay, but it's still not in your pocket. Okay, we're going to get down dirty this morning and get you a wake-up call to help you wake up and be the financial warrior you were designed to be. That is within you. When your desire for your finances get as strong as your desire to breathe, you're going to succeed. When your desire for your finances is like on a level of wanting to go jump in the cold plunge every day, you might not. No, I shouldn't say that. I look forward to it, but if you've never done a cold plunge before, you might go, oh God, yeah, that's how I feel about my finances. I don't want to do that every day. Well, guess what? I do the cold plunge every day, and I work somewhat on the finances every day too, because it's not only your work that you produce the money. You also got to be planning, creating, anticipating things that are going to happen. Somebody tube just pulled some more censoring stunts. So I already own stock in Rumble, and I'm not coming to you as a stock advisor, but it's at a kind of an all-time low right now. And their biggest competitor just did something that made a lot of people mad. I'm going to buy some more stock while it's down. Okay. That's my thought, because I think of it on a real world basis. If they're pushing people into the arms of their competitor's stock will go up. Oh, so isn't that simple? Sometimes. Now, other times there's all these analyses and this, that, and the other. That makes my head want to explode. I can't sit there and go through somebody's, income reports and this, that, and the other for the last 12 years to make a decision whether to buy a handful of stock. Okay, are they meeting a need? What's the next need? What's the trend? What is really truly trending today that you can think of companies that you use that you might not have used 5 years ago? Some of these emerging companies where you're going, oh, but they're right on the cutting edge of everything that's going on right now. Ooh, yeah, get in the now a little bit. Okay, IBM is kind of a thing of the past, AT&T, they're going to be around a while. They're a strong company, but they're not progressing. Apple's a little more progressive, but they're high. Who's the next one? I think Musk is a pretty good bet, if you're a betting kind of person. But, again, guys, do your research. Do your thing. Get into the ideas. You might not be a stock person. I'm not coming here to talk stocks this morning. When I was younger, I always said, if I touch a stock, I go, tanks. And that's not always true. But, that's I'm conservative when it comes to that, to be honest with you. I've got to see a real shift in a market or something for a company for me to go, that would be a smart buy. And I'm not always right. And I'm that by far not talking, I'm trying not to encourage you to be a day trader or anything else, just kind of some diversification, which we're going to talk to. But the truth is that wealth is partially a psychological thing and partially a reality thing. Okay, you can get all psyched up and go, I'm going to be a millionaire. Yeah. All right, let's get the TV going with Netflix. Do a Netflix, marathon. That's not going to make you a million. It's going to help make Netflix millions. It's not going to make you a million. If you go, oh yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire. Let me get something on, let me get some educational stuff. Let me watch some of Coach's stuff. Let me watch some of Dean Graziosi stuff. He's a millionaire. Let's see what he's got going on. He writes books about being millionaires. So you look and go, Okay, you're going to spend that time getting rah-rahed up and then, kick your feet up and crack a beer and watch some sports or Netflix, and you're going to watch the millionaire people, or are you going to be one of the millionaire people? There was a really good book that came out called The Millionaire Next Door years ago. And there's these two schools of thoughts that tug at each other. You got Millionaire Next Door versus Grant Cardone. Okay. Both. I enjoyed the Millionaire Next Door book. It was great. I loved listening to Grant Cardone. He's got cojones 100 miles wide. But, you got the Millionaire Next Door is going to teach you to buy sensible, to this, that, and the other, and turn your lights off when you leave the house and that. And then Grant Cardone gets on and goes, F it! I left my lights on in my condo this morning. I don't care. And you go, they're great information and they're totally contradictory. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at that one statement. Why would you waste the money when you can flip a switch going out the door, Grant? And then on the other side of that, if it takes you 30 minutes to flip all those switches off to save $1 or $2 in electricity for the day, your time, what's that worth? Mr. Millionaire Next Door book. So you go, well, which is it? Well, I say this, and like I say, I love both. So there were good nuggets in both, and in listening to Grant too. And I understand what Grant's saying is it's not going to make the difference to him, that $2 or $3 of electricity. However, on that side of it, I look and go, well, why waste the $2 or $3 if it's 1 second to go click? Now again, if it's going to take me 30 minutes for $3, yeah, no, you don't have my time there. And then on the other side of it, the Millionaire Next Door book taught so much of finding the deal and this, that, and the other, that it was like, okay, that's using up too much time. And then there's things in the book, The Millionaire Next Door, that, like if you can buy a pair of shoes that's just as comfortable and just as well made, but you buy them at Ross instead of going to the main retailer for the same pair of shoes, and they're $69 at Ross and they were $269 at JCPenney. Well, that's a no-brainer. There's no, unless JCPenney's a 45-minute trip away, unless Ross is 45 minutes away and JCPenney's is right next to your house, and you're going to waste an hour and a half to save that money. That's a different story, but that's smart. Why would you spend more when you don't have to? However, is it worth driving across town to save 3 cents a gallon on gas? And some people are like, oh yeah, the gas prices are crazy. 3 cents a gallon, the average tank is 20 gallons. I mean, some are 25, some are 18, whatever. But just think of that, 20 gallons of fuel at 3 cents a gallon is 60 cents. Are you really going to drive any more than 30 seconds more up the road to save that 3 cents a gallon? Are you really going to drive across town to save 3 cents a gallon? Are you going to waste your time to do that? And you're like, Coach, you're confusing me. Now, if gas is $1 less a gallon, and I'm going to fill up one of our big diesel trucks, 100-gallon tank, I might take an extra few minutes to drive a little bit further. Again, I'm not going to spend 2 hours back and forth to do that, because really, is that really valuable use of your time? Okay, so there's a fine balance in there. So let's put together the Millionaire Next Door and Grant and go mesh them together. Okay, so what I would learn from listening to the two of them and reading the book would be, when it is timely and efficient to save the extra money, don't waste the extra money. When it is not timely and efficient to worry about that, and you could make more in the time by spending a little bit more, but you could make a lot more, screw it, leave the lights on. Okay? It maybe a better example would be to get to the office and you got a big client and you realize, I left my lights on in the condo. I got to go home and waste half hour, 45 minutes each way, and I'm going to miss this big client for it. Absolutely not. Screw the $2 or $3. Now to walk out the door and go, oh, I don't want to take 10 seconds to push the light switch down, that's wasteful. That makes sense. I know I had to get it kind of into a stupid, crazy, because there's those times where you go, is it really worth the time? Is it really worth? And then you can micromanage yourself so damn much with that you spend all your time micromanaging the finances, and then you don't actually grow or create finances. My mother, God rest her soul, got to make ends meet. As a kid, I thought that meant the end of the road in meat, like you cook. You got to make ends meet. Well, I didn't know it meant ends, income, and outgo. That woman, and I love Mom to death, but I'll tell you, sometimes she let things get in her way so bad. She would literally spend hours with a little notebook budgeting, and it was like, Ma, go to work. Go to work. Quit budgeting. You go to work for a couple extra hours. You go do something productive. Do a little side hustle. And you won't have to worry about where that extra $20 or $40 is going to come from. You won't sit here at night racking your brain. It hurt me to see her stressing so badly over finances. Okay, that was something that was a push for me. And I used to go make extra money. I always worked, even as a kid. And many a times it had to go into the pot to create food for the pot. Okay. Lawnmower broke. Okay. Well, I'd saved up some money from working. I bought us a new lawnmower and stuff like that. So, it hurt me to see her struggling so much over this. But, you spend 4, 5, 6, 10 hours a month trying to create this budget to live on poverty, when you could just go put in a few hours worth of damn work and be way ahead of that and take away all that stress and gain those hours back. If you tell me I can gain back 10 hours a week by working 2 extra hours on something, but it's going to take 10 hours back of my week, net 8-hour gain, let me think about that for about a half a second. I'll take it. Okay. So the first side of this coin, getting back to the original comment there, is if you feel wealthy, in a sense, you are wealthy. And if you feel broke, in a sense, you are broke, regardless of reality. What does that mean? Well, you don't have to have a certain dollar amount in the bank, make a certain dollar amount or anything else to feel wealthy. If each day you feel blessed and you're rocking and rolling and you are living the life you want, and you don't have the financial stresses eating at you, even if you're not super financially successful, you could feel like you are. Flip side is you could be a multi-millionaire and you could have it set up so that you're hard driving so damn hard that you always feel broke. And one of the things Eddie Milet says that I love is keep that hunger, keep that hunger, keep that hunger. Yes, I agree, but not to the point where it destroys your quality of life. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Again, a fine line balance. Somebody I respect much, a great mentor of mine, gets me on the track of, yes, get out and get it, get out and get it. But if you feel like you're so starved out that you never enjoy it, what the hell? So that's it. There's some balance that comes in there. Quick story of mine for you. Didn't always start out with the greatest of everything. I used to have this stupid belief I had to work twice as hard as anyone else to get half as much as they did in my same industry or my same line of work, whatever the case was. Did it make me work twice as hard? Yeah. Did it feel good? No, I felt a lot of jealousy, envy, dislike, and it was like, it dawned on me one day that these people are just putting in the effort and, doing things a little smarter that I look at and go, I'm only getting half of what you're getting and I'm working twice as hard. It was not an accurate belief. Okay. So I'm tooling along, but I always worked like my next dollar depended, my next meal depended on it, my child's next meal, because there were times when that was the level of work for that day, that I had to produce something, okay? Because I really haven't worked for anybody since I've been 18, all right? A couple contracts here and there but actually physically being an employee of a company, no, not since I've been 18. So ups, downs, mountains, valleys. But the whole point to that is one day I sat down, and you see your tax returns and stuff, and you go, oh, we're doing pretty good. But I sat down and said, let me just take a piece of paper and write this down. And I remember this day. It's pivotal. And I wrote down, okay, I own this kind of real estate. Jimmy Brown, what's up, brother man? I own this much real estate. This is what I owe on it. This is what it's worth. And this was in 2005, 2006, a area when it was so, increasing. And then I was like, what do I have in car inventory? What do I have in this? And I was like, wow, I'm successful. Day before that, I was still working like, and my next meal depended on what I did that day. And for many years before that. I'm successful. I remember this. I was like, holy crap. I mean, this is better than I thought. It's one thing to go, okay, I make this, but it's another to see what you've amassed and, what you do. So this is really great, but you can see where I'm going with this. 2006, real estate had many holdings there. Wham! Explosion just a few months later. And I'm like, well, I got to feel successful for 6 months. Okay. And that sounds silly. But I really had set it up to that point where I didn't have maybe the appreciation that I do today for what we have today. Okay, and it's not what I had then. Okay, I was like looking, going, God, I could kind of cash out and semi-retire and, da-da-da-da. And who wants to retire if you love what you do? But it was a psychological shift of working like a dog that my next meal depended on it, to feeling successful in a matter of taking out a sheet of paper. So how could you use something like that to make you more balanced and go, okay, where am I really? Get to that, but then go, how do I really feel about this compared to 5 years ago, a year ago, 10 years ago? I bet you could find things that would support that you are successful, and maybe not at the level you want to be, but build upon your successes rather than always be going on that starvation mode, if that makes sense. So, and after the real estate crash, my joke was, there was my triple Harvard education without the diploma. Did I learn a lot? Yes. Did I appreciate more? Yes. Okay, so sometimes that even when something blows up in your face, there's a gift in there. Go for it, okay? So I could go on for days on the psychological and emotional side of wealth, but let's talk some black and white here. Let's get it to something you can create, okay? Again, those examples of net worth for you. All right, hey man, I'm doing good. I got 10 grand saved in the bank. And it might be $10 for one, it might be $100,000 for another. But if your debt exceeds that, you are delusional. Ouch. That's pretty rough, coach. Now, I'm not saying it to be nasty, but you're deluded into believing that you have financial security. Okay, the person that has 10 grand in the bank and only owes about $1,000 in credit card debt is further ahead than the person that's got 100 grand in the bank and has $120,000 in debt out there. That's what I'm trying to get to you. Really, really just get to where we're at. Figure out what it is. Okay. My second question for you now is, how long could you go if your current income was totally cut off today? Your job, your business income, how long could you survive taking care of your family at the level you are at today? How long? Oh, yeah, well, ooh, yeah, especially when the bills keep. See, the thing is, everybody goes, well, I could, live on, this much by what I have in my state. Oh, I still got to pay the credit cards off. I still got to, and what if there's an emergency? Okay, this isn't designed to make you feel bad about where you're at. It's designed to open up your eyes. Okay, guys, I don't do this to come out and nag at you and pick on you or anything else. What I do is to get your eyes open to make some decisions for yourself so you can do better. Because you know what drives me to do this show? to see you do better. Okay? I'm not coming on to sell you something. Once in a while, I'll tell you, buy some Life Boost coffee. I'd love you to join me and Coach Lew Inner Circle, which is maiden voyage of our first live meeting next month in October. I'm going to let you know next week you'll be able to actually get started. And that first one, I am doing complimentary. You don't even have to be a member. I do need to get you signed up for it because I have limited seating. But that's, these are things you can help me by becoming part of my community. But I'm coming here to help you do better, okay? And think about that. Let me ask you a question. How well are your assets diversified, okay? See, back in 2008, Schmorch, you might know him, World Trader of Currency. We were at a Wealth Mastery event, and he comes up to me, and he was Dr. Doom and Gloom. That's what we all called him. And he goes, "So Lou, how much foreign currency do you own?" I said, "None. I'm in real estate, man. I'm in Central Florida. I am on fire." "You are going to crash." And he was literally like the mortician. Okay, dark-haired guy, just, but he was playing his part. Loved to death. I wish I had listened to him. He said, "Wait till the next time I see you." Well, I'm scared about it. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm scared to ever tell him what happened. But diversification. How well are you diversified? Do you have real estate holdings? If so, do you have some precious metal holdings? Do you have a little bit of stock, an IRA? Do you have assets for your business, extra inventory coming into a down market that we're in? Do you have more inventory? It's a great time to buy inventory because generally you can negotiate better. The more you can buy, the better off you are. Even if it's like, well, our sales are a little slow, but it is for your wholesalers too. Maybe if you say, what if I doubled my order for the next few months? They might give you half the cost. Would it be worth it if you know that you are staying in the business you're in to put some more into your inventory or the prospective inventory of what would be coming up that people could need? Have the foresight. Are your assets protected? Do you have adequate insurances? I am not a lover coochie cuckoo cuddly with insurance companies, but sometimes people do stuff like, oh, my commercial insurance has gotten expensive on my truck, so I'm going to drop my coverage, and then you have an accident and it puts you out of business rather than covering you because you saved $200 a year. You just got hit with a $2 million lawsuit and you're done. Guys, these are things, the realities, and I want to make sure that, when we look at this and go, I'm going to cut that out for a couple bucks a month, how about backup of your data? Oh, I don't want, iCloud or this cloud wants to charge me $299 a month for double the storage space, but I'll take my chances. With your customer data, with what runs your business, runs your household, you're going to take a chance that you're going to go over that data limit for a couple dollars a month and lose something important. That could be a document that gets you a $10,000 tax write-off, but you save $299 a month by not having that upgraded cloud. Or not buying an external hard drive in addition to that for $50. To make sure that your data, which whether it's your personal, your business, is gold to you, but you're not going to spend $50 on a nice little box to keep it safe. Remember, okay? So the next question to ask yourself is, what is your goal? And what will it really take to get you there? Okay? My goal is $100,000 this month, or this year. I'm making $10,000. And I want to make $100,000, and I make $1,000 a month, and I'm just going to continue going to work every day like I usually do. It's not going to get you your goal. What would you really need to do it? Okay, we're going to debunk one myth right here. Take care of the pennies, and the dollars will take care of themselves. Thank you, Mom and Dad. No thanks to Mom and Dad on that one. We'd hear that all the time. And money doesn't grow on trees. Well, I say it depends what kind of trees you grow. These days, money grows quite a bit on plants, as we've noticed since they've legalized certain products in Florida, that people literally can grow money. Okay, and it has to be grown cash because they can't use the bank. But yeah, they're being sarcastic there, but it's the truth. But while you're focusing on the penny, the dollars and the hundreds are sliding through your hands. That's back to that first example with Grant versus Millionaire Next Door. Okay, if shutting off that light is going to cost you a $100,000 deal because you had to turn around and go back and you miss a client appointment that would have made you $100,000 to save $3 on your lights, bang you upside the forehead for that one, kid. In the same respect, it doesn't hurt to shut off that light when you're going out the door. And why throw the $3 away unless it's going to stand in your way of something else? Again, remember, watch that you don't get so caught up in the tiny minutia of the little stuff that you let the big deals pass you by. Well, I got to go to work today, got to make the bucks. Yet you could have gone and met with a new client for the new business that you're starting that would have made you $100,000 this year. But you couldn't take a day off from the job that pays you $40,000 to go get this deal rolling. That is watching the pennies and thinking the dollars are going to take care of themselves. Okay. Woo! This is a fun one this morning. Okay. And like we already debunked basically that it's okay to be wasteful when you're massively successful. No, even when you're massively successful, if you get wasteful, you're going to take away from that. And you might say, well, who cares about the $5 or $10? But in the long run, unless, and hear me loud and clear, unless it holds you back from your major goal, don't throw money away. Now, if, spending $5 or wasting $5 allows you to step right past that and go make 100, it's worth it. But if wasting that $5 does nothing to grow you, then don't spend that $5. Save it. Then you'll be $5 ahead. Does this all make sense? Let me know, guys. Communicate with me here. This isn't, I'm not here to talk at you. I want to talk with you. That's going to be the great thing with Coach Lew and her Circle Guys. This is going to blow it out of the park. I am so damned excited about next month, and I'm going to let you know more. I've got things just about ready where you're actually going to be able to sign up for that event. It's free. Get you started. Get you a taste of what it's like to take your life into your hands and get the control of it and be part of a community of people who want to grow. There's enough people who want to bitch and complain. There's enough people who want to commiserate on how bad it is. Why not be one of the people that wants to do something, make things better? Okay. So what's the plan here, Coach? Plan is I'm already overtime, so I'm going to get down to it. Okay. Number one, step one. And you can write these down or you can go back and see the posts. It's all going to be outlined for you. Get truly honest of where you are now. We've already talked about that. Where's your debt? Where's your income? Where's your savings? Where is it? Put it down in black and white. That is something that, I always say life is colorful. There's very little black and white. There's a lot of color on the spectrum in between. Life is colorful. It's supposed to be. Certain things are enjoyable and productive. Some things are not enjoyable and productive. Some things are not enjoyable and not productive. Some things are enjoyable and not productive. And you start to categorize by what's best. Why wouldn't you do something that you love that's massively productive rather than doing something you hate that's very little productive? Okay? Everybody always said focus on your weaknesses. Everybody who said that loses. Focus on your strengths. Strengthen some of your weaknesses that you need to pillarize to make the strength stronger. I'm not saying if you're an athlete and your core is your weak spot that you don't work on it. That would be foolish. But focus on, okay, if I want to be an athlete and I'm really strong in the upper body, okay, maybe your goal is not going to be a marathon runner. Maybe you're the pull-up king or queen, or maybe you're you do something, like you're a pitcher with this, but you still need everything, but you maximize what you already have, and then you bring the rest of it to match it. You don't focus on your weaknesses. That's exactly what you're going to get, and you're going to be damn well miserable. Think of that. Okay, now step 2, define exactly where you want to be. I want to make some more bucks. Pal, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Yep. I want to have $100,000 in the bank and be debt-free by the end of the year. That is a very clear goal. Okay, and that's great, but then you got to go to step 3. You got to design an MAP. And you say, that's MAP, coach. You can't read. Massive action plan. Okay, this is not just drawing a line going here to here. You got to have action steps in there, and you got to break it up with these mile markers on the map of, okay, each month I got to be here, here, here. Each quarter I got to be here, here, and this and that. Boom! I do all that, and I'm going to be there. Well, what happens after month 1 if you're not where you're supposed to be in month 1? Rip it up and throw it away and go, this crap doesn't work. No, you go, I got to make a little bit more this month. This coming month, I got to make up for that. What if you're ahead of the game? Well, keep that momentum going. Don't sit back on your laurels in month 2 and go, no, I got to do half of what I had, because you know that's going to become your habit. So if you go, hey, I'm 150% into this in month 1, keep that pace. It's better to hit your goal early and to hit it strong and to exceed it than it is to start resting on your laurels, and then something comes along, and something's always going to come along that's going to be a speed bump, a detour, a sinkhole in that road to success. It is going to slow you up and try to stop you, especially when you get near your goal. Okay, so do your map with your mile markers. All right, take massive action. Number 4, okay, to create your wealth and create consistent action. Okay, massive action to create and consistent action to investing and saving. Okay, you don't want to take consistent action in growing your wealth and in creating the wealth initially. You want to be really successful at the creation. And you don't want to be massively crazy and go, I'm going to take everything I have and stick it in this one stock because I have a feeling. You could lose your butt. Now you can stick a piece of that in there, that gamble bucket, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. When you got excess income, if you want to go, this thing could really blow up and be amazing, go for it. If not, if you don't have that extra, don't do the risk. But the consistent comes in with investing and saving. Might be a little bit, but your massive is on the creation of money. Then your consistent is on the investment and saving. If you can start to build a base and a safety net, after a while you have your own portfolio. However you want to set that up. Not everybody's a stock person. Not everybody's a real estate person. Not everybody's just a savings account person. So, some people like silver, some like gold, some like platinum. Do your own research. I'm not going to sit there and tell you what to do. I'm going to just tell you damn well got to do it. All right. Number 5, make this fun. Did you have a good time this morning? Was I a little bit outrageous and crazy for you? Heck yeah. Okay. If you mess up, learn, grow, and get back in the game. Hear this one loud and clear. If you mess up, learn, grow, get back in the game. You're not always going to make the perfect investment, the perfect choice. You might quit your job and go into this business and it fails to maybe no fault of your own. Is there a time when a government regulation or something knocks somebody right out of business and you stand there and go, what just happened? I didn't do that. That wasn't my lack of getting up in the morning, my lack of working hard, my lack of taking care of customers. Somebody pulled the plug on my business. Maybe it was your lack of insight, but if that happens, get back in the game. Okay? Nothing in this world can stop you until you take your last breath. Interesting. Okay, so that's it, guys. Do it up. Let's play. Let's have some fun. Reach out to me. Let me know how you're doing. Coach Lew Inner Circle is on the books for October, guys, and I'm going to get you more information on that, so make sure you're on next week's show so you know exactly what we're doing. And let's get together and make our lives amazing. As a big family out here, as a group, as a team. Let's one last note. I have one last note for you before we go on the finances. And some people agree and some disagree with me on this, but hear me out. If you agree with me on it, that's great. If you disagreed with me, I think by the time I tell you a few sentences, you might look differently. Cash. People are like, well, save cash. Don't let cash, don't let anybody eliminate cash. Don't let the US dollar no longer be the standard. Let's eliminate it and go digital. It's easier, it's cleaner, it's not as dirty, it's faster, it's this, it's that. I just want to give you a picture of a credit card transaction. You spend $100 with me. I swipe your card, 3%. I get 97. Big banking gets 3. I go to the next person, Home Depot, to get some stuff for the business. Swipe my card. I spend the $97, and now it's 94. And this is I'm paraphrasing just a hair on that. Home Depot gets 94. Big banking's up to $6 on that same 100. Okay. And I'm not being conspiracy theorist. I'm telling you what really happens to your money. Home Depot pays one of their vendors with a card. That $94 is now $91 when that vendor gets it. $9 to banking, to the clearinghouse. 91 stays with America. Now that vendor pays one of his vendors or subs that 91. It's now 88. Do I need to keep going, guys? By the time you're done, you have taken that $100 and literally eliminated it from your business, my business, your family, my family, and put it into a centralized banking, which I would venture to say the banking industry is not out to help you succeed. Okay, very greed-driven industry. Not that I know some great bankers, but I'm just saying you keep diminishing the value, and then we go, why is the dollar not worth as much? Why is inflation happening? And one person wants to say it's the current president, the ex-president, the next president, this state, that state, this income tax, that income. When it's all said and done, if you keep digitalizing the currency and there's this chunk that comes off it every single time, it diminishes. Wow, I pay you with a $100 bill. Now you pay your vendor with a $100 bill. They pay their vendor with that $100 bill. Ba-boom, ba-boom. What's left? It's still $100 in our communities, in our hands. So cashless is a big no. Am I saying, oh, just sit on piles of cash and never use your credit or debit card? No, that's foolish. Okay, I'm not saying that there's no place for some digital transactions. I can't hand you a $100 bill through the camera if you're in Oregon somewhere or in Dubai. I certainly can pay you with a credit card or PayPal or something. So everything has its place. But in your local businesses, don't starve out your mom and pop coffee shops or your mom and pop auction houses or anybody else by, just diminishing with the swipe, 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 unless you have to. Now, if you don't have the cash and you need to buy something, your refrigerator broke and you don't have the $2,500, and you go to Home Depot and go, I wish I could just whip out the cash, I get you. Pay with your card. You might need time to pay for it. There's a time and a place for everything. That's what I'm saying. I'm not all one or the other. But guys, protect your right to keep your cash, because the digital is going to do nothing but diminish the value of our dollar continually and continually and continually. And if you're forced to only do the digital, basically that is a 3% tax on everything you do every day of your life. Okay, so again, not trying to be conspiracy theorist, anything else. Pay attention to your finances. Your finances. I'm dealing with mine, you deal with yours. You need help, come to me, because I can help you with some ideas. Again, I'm not a financial planner, and I'm kind of glad of that, because oftentimes the people that are financial planners, specific doctors, and how many times people go to a doctor and they're, a specialist, and they're going, oh yeah, you got this, and we got to give you this drug and this. They don't go after the root cause. Okay. And Sometimes there's a case you go into the doctor and they tell you, if you don't take this medication, you're going to die. I'm not going to tell you, go after the root cause and drink wheatgrass. Folks, there are times where you just simply, something is what it is. Then there are other times that the symptom, and this isn't only medical, is just a icing that covers God knows what. It could be a 5-layer delicious cake underneath, or it could be a poop brownie. Till you get under that icing, you don't know what's under there. Do your digging, do your research. This is what I'm telling you. Don't blindly follow what I say. You might go, the whole cash thing sounds weird, Coach. I think you're selling conspiracy theory. Go do your own research. Sit down and do the math. I'm not telling you that somebody's out to get you. There's not some, ghoul coming to get you every time you go to the store if you use your credit card. But it is diminishing the value of our dollar. That's a given. Check it out. These are things when we're talking about your finances. Do you want to grow? Do you want to throw it away? Do you want to be wasteful? Do you want to keep it in your pocket? What's in your wallet? Let's keep it there and let's grow it. All right, guys. Love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. The show went on a little bit longer, but finances are important. Just like health is important, finances are important for the overall quality of your life and the overall security of your family and on down. Get it, learn it, use it. And if you have questions, come back to the site and read the post and watch this video 100 times. If you're on live, this is going to be reposted on our blog at xlr8life.com, on our Breakthrough blog. So you have use of all this, all the tools. Get you some Life Boost coffee. I'll put in the link for that. Absolutely amazing. My best coffee in the wide world. And get out there and start taking care of your body, your finances, your family, your community. And join me for Coach Lew Inner Circle. God bless, guys. Have an amazing day. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. And I will see you on the next roundabout.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to xlr8life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.